Right, one thing that we do particularly well in the UK is bureaucracy and form filling, and it's absolutely no different when it comes to growing vines, would you believe? I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world. You might not have to do anything. You might just, you can plant as many acres as you want under vines, and that's absolutely fine. But here in the UK, if you're growing more than zero point 0.1 of an acre, I think it is, of vines, then you have to fill in forms and things and send them off to the relevant authorities. Uh, it blows my mind, it really does. We're not making any alcohol. Well, we might do in the future, but if we were, then that's sorted by other bits of bureaucracy and form filling and licenses and things like that. All we're doing at the moment is just growing something, growing grapes basically. But the law is what it is, and we have to fill in a form. So in this video, this is really only relevant for the UK as far as I know. Put in the comments below if you have to do a similar thing in your country if you're not in the UK, but this one's going to be inside. It's the only video I'm going to be doing which is actually not in the vineyard, as it were. So yeah, over to the computer. Okay, in the office now, and the first thing you want to do is to work out how much area that you've got under vines. And the best site I've found, there's lots of them actually, but if you just type in calc maps, then see what comes up here. So just click on calc maps, calculate an area on a map. That's the one we want. So here you can type in your postcode. I'm going to just blur mine out for obvious reasons. And so it comes up straight away. That's good. Right, so you can zoom in, and this is the field in question. I'll just zoom out a little bit. This is the field in question, and you've got a little crosshair, and you can literally just mark the area of the field like so. And if you make a mistake, you can drag it back a bit, and you can do all sorts of things like so. And you'll notice in the top here you've got an area in square meters in hectares, which is the relevant bit for the form. You've also got it in square feet and acreage as well. And so that's a very simple way in finding the area that you've got under vines. But actually you need two areas. You need, first of all, the area that you have assigned for your vineyard, and then secondly you want an area which is actually being cultivated for vines as well. Goodness knows why they want these two figures, but you want the total area and also just the area that you've got under vines. So the figures to remember is that one, that one. In fact, no, sorry, it's that one, just the hectares, because the form only asks for hectares, not acres, and also the total as well. So that's the first thing to do. So that's all fairly straightforward. And then it's heading over to the form itself. Okay, the next page that you want to have a look at is from the Food Standards Agency. If you find that page, okay, this is a government website, and if you just type in Vineyard, oops, oh, I've got it typed already, Vineyard registration form, and press return on that, you'll come up with a whole load of results. And it's actually the first one. It's actually labelled UK Vineyard Register. So this is all the other people that have registered their vineyards. And as you can see, all vineyards larger than 0.1 of a hectare must be registered. Smaller vineyards must also be registered if they operate commercially. So that's your first sort of signal that they are serious about this. And if you scroll down, there's the form as a PDF, which you can fill either online or in ballpoint pen and send off to the office, which I think is in Yorkshire. And then there's a list of commercial vineyards that have done it already. It tells you a little bit about the form and registration and all the rest of it. And actually, quite interestingly, down at the bottom they've got some statistics about the varieties in the UK that are planted, the most popular one being Chardonnay. We've got Bacchus here, so that's third on the list, which is a good sign, I suppose, but all the other varieties there. And also they've got the top wine areas by county. This is quite interesting. As you'd expect, the southeast is the more popular area for vines, given their soil type. But rather encouragingly, we've got a little mention as well down here. So that's 29 hectares, which is about 60 plus acres. So it's a tiny amount really, but and so we're going to be adding to that. Maybe we'll push it over 30 by ourselves. And then wine production data by year only goes up to 2015, which is interesting. But as you can see from very small beginnings, the wine industry in the UK is growing. So what you then get, if you scroll up to the top, if you click on the vine registration form, you come up with this form here. And as I say, you can fill it either in by online, or you can fill it in by pen and send it off to this address here. Now it's 6 pages long, but don't let that put you off too much. A little bit of blurb to start with, and then it comes into, and then you've got a sign to say that you filling it in correctly, or the data protection gumph, and then you come into the actual form itself. So I don't think there's anything too onerous on here. Doesn't seem to be many guidance notes on it at all. So if you make a mistake, then I dare say they'll probably tell you if they need any further information. So we're on to page 4 already. Nothing too onerous other than just house names and addresses, postcodes, things like that. About the holding, is it a vineyard or mixed agricultural enterprise? This one is causing me a little bit of confusion because the whole property is mixed agricultural enterprise, but obviously the area in question is just a vineyard. So I'm not quite sure what to tick there. This is where you need the 2 figures, the total area of the holding. Again, is this the holding of the whole lot or just the area that you've assigned for the vineyard? This is perhaps more relevant here, the area breakdown, so the area of vines in the open, under cover, the total area, which are the 2 boxes added together, an area not under vine. And then if you've got split holdings or different parcels of land, this is where you can fill in additional forms. Interestingly, they want the altitude of your vineyard as well. And then you've got areas under vine, in production, not in production, not actively cultivated, and any remaining area under vines not entered into A and C. Oh goodness me, so they want quite a bit of information there. Details of holdings, serial numbers, this is different vine varieties and husbandry. We're quite simple here, we've just got one variety, and we also want to know when the vines were planted. So if you can struggle through that form and send it back to the address at the top or to the wine standards at the food.gov.uk email address, then I think you've covered all bases. Here we go. It just gives you a little bit of guidance as to how to interpret some of these terms that they use within the form, which is quite good, I suppose. And that's really about it. So that's the form that you need to fill in the UK if you're growing any more than 0.1 of a hectare of vines, which is about 1/4 of an acre.
There we go, that's probably it for this video. As I say, it probably only applies to people in the UK, to be honest, but if you find that you have to fill in forms and do other things like that in the country that you're in, then put it in the comments below. I'll be quite interested to see how other countries deal with growing vines and things like that. But until the next video, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.